Tell me one miracle in the Bible or in your very life where misery was not involved. Hey brothers and sisters, I heard this sentence, there is no miracle without misery, from my mum actually, who was talking to me about a sermon she heard from T.D. Jakes. It struck quite a chord with me, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to talk about this Miraculous Monday. Anybody who has experienced a miracle in their life and knows that they have will not tell you about the miracle without saying why the miracle was needed in the first place. The word miracle itself is defined as a welcome supernatural event. And certainly the multiplication of food that Jesus did in front of the 5,000 plus people was a welcome event. Every miracle I've spoken of on Miraculous Mondays have been set in some sort of misery or the other, either resulting from a lack of boldness or equipment or some sort of sadness, and it's been changed into joyful rejoicing. Come to think of it, rejoice as joy replayed. It's like a bubbling of joy over and over again. The fact is, people, if you are facing misery in some part of your life, however big or small, it is the perfect ground for God to bring about a miracle. You want proof of that? Let me give it to you. What does God say to those who are mourning? He said, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted of God." Mourning is a few levels more advanced in misery. And God actually says that these people who are embedded in sadness, not the ones who are happy or the ones who are cheerful or content or things are going well for them, no, the people who are mourning, they are the ones qualified to receive this kind of comfort from God. You see this pot? Well, just like a ground is dug up to plant a seed, so God allows those who want to grow in Him a breaking up of who they are in order to become like who He is. And just like that same seed, when it is planted, its outer shell dies to give life to a new creation of itself, so does God allow and bring about the death of our human desires so that we can cultivate a desire for His heart. And just as our roots grow deeper and deeper into the mud and darkness, we get more refreshment and water to sustain our growth upwards to where God sits in the heavens, watching faithfully over His creation. When we can recognize that this misery in our life is the perfect ground for God to work about a growth or a miracle, we are able to turn it over to God and say, "God, I don't know what's happening or why it's happening, but I need you to work a miracle in this very place." And God is surely able to bring about that miracle if it is the right time and place and according to His will. Through the magnificent 9 plagues of Egypt, God says, "I am doing this so that you will know that I am the Lord." And the Israelites were facing bondage and slavery and hardship like never before. They were breaking their backs, but it was at this very time that we can read some of the most amazing miracles that ever took place between God and His people, and for all of Egypt and Pharaoh to see. I'm not looking to glorify something as dark and horrible as misery, but to say that as surely as the sun rises after the night, God is able to win over any impossible circumstance when we are willing to trust Him. Sometimes we are not even trusting Him and God decides to let a miracle happen. Now, often the answer is not what we expect, but you can be sure that God is in control and He is waiting for the right time and the right place to give you the miracle that you need. So brothers and sisters, I know this was a little different from what I usually do on Mondays, but it was something I needed to share with you, and let me know if it helped you. I'm Vihan Damaris on Miraculous Mondays signing off, and I'll see you next on Worship Wednesdays. And let's always strive to be like Jesus.